Hello everyone, welcome to this new session of AxelTech on Air. Thank you for being with us today. I'm glad to be here with our CTO, Marco Branzanti. Thank you, Marco.
Hi, Simona.
And welcome.
Thank you.
So, I would also like to recall to our public to please subscribe to our AxelTech YouTube channel. You just have to press on the little bell here above. And Marco, today the subject is really interesting because it is a new product. We showed in, we forecast already during the last exhibitions all over the world, and actually it has also a very interesting history because we already had two products in the TV graphic field. Now we have a new one. Can you please explain how this passage was managed?
Yeah. So essentially we had two products in our CG line. One was for channel branding, which is to put your logo and your clock on here. The other was for live production, so during a talk show, for example, to put your lower thirds on here. So it was DLG Plus, Digital Logo Generator Plus, and CG Live, of course, for the live show. So both products actually got enhanced with new features on both sides. So the two products started resembling each other very much. One could use the digital logo generator also for live and vice versa. So we kind of merged the two products into a single product, and of course also the name is kind of a merge. So it's CG Plus. So
That's
a unified
great.
Product both for channel branding and for live production.
Perfect. Thank you for the nice introduction. So of course, CG Plus, it is so the union, the merge of two products, but as we like to do, it also integrates many new very nice features.
Correct.
The first among them, I would say, and maybe the most important,
Yeah.
honestly, the most powerful at least, would be the integration with the After Effects of Adobe Word.
Correct.
Can you please show us how it works?
Yes, just a short description. The product is a very high-end product. It's a broadcast product. It has anti-aliased text, so nice and smooth, but it also manages alpha channel with 32 bits of transparency very well. So the quality of the graphics on here is a very high quality product. But the philosophy behind all AxelTech products is to keep things nice and simple. If you're live, you want to, use the product without encountering errors of any type, and that's why it's important to be simple. So of course, the artistic part of the creation of the templates, of the graphical templates, is a 2D template, and I want to show you a little bit of what I'm talking about. So very nice graphics that you can put on here with tickers, rolls, crawls, clocks, animations, and also the media you can insert in the system can be in any file format. So you can put inside animations, bitmap sequences, video clips, audio clips. So effectively what you can do is you can essentially render from your After Effects station, you can render out the graphics in an animation, and you can put it directly on here. But if the After Effects project contains some text, for example, for lower thirds, you would have to render out, let's say, an animation for each of the people which are in the program, in the show. So what we did is a very tight integration with After Effects, and I want to show you practically. I'm going to go into the Pages section, which is the internal editor where you can actually create templates. By the way, we give out a free application called the CG Composer, which you can install on any computer to create the templates on other computers if you don't want to bother with the people which are actually using the system on air. And I can select, and this is the nice part, directly an After Effects project. It's an AEP. Who uses After Effects knows that that's where you save your templates. The system will open it. It will actually render what we call a proxy file for the animation, which allows the user to actually position the animation wherever he wants on the screen. And inside the animation, we have some text file, some images or other metadata, which are used for live data tags. So I want to show you how it works. If I select that project, I will be able to insert directly and type in the data that I want, and I can put it directly on air. So this is a rendered animation. How does it work? As soon as I insert my text, the system starts with what we call a background rendering. So actually it has to render the animation exactly as you would do on the After Effects station. But this is done automatically without the user having to do anything. And the background rendering, of course, takes some time. The time depends on the complexity of the project and on the power of the computer. In this case, the rendering can be done on the same computer where you have your CG+, but it is highly suggested to actually add a bare metal, that's what a workstation, in order to run the After Effects renderer. And if you use a nice generation i7, a 12, 13, 14, of course, the more powerful the computer, the faster will be the background animation. Typically for a lower third, it's just a couple of seconds. So at the end, if you have a talk show with maybe 10 people talking, you put in your list, and in 1 minute more or less, you will have all your animations rendered. As simply, you have to select the metadata that you want, and you put it on there, and that's the After Effects integration.
Okay.
So what does this give to the product?
Yeah.
Well, at the end, the product remains very, very simple. Very basic, but with high quality graphics. But if you need something more, because you need to add some, let's say, artistic effects, you want something more, well, you can do it directly using maybe the most popular and the most used product in the world, which is After Effects, which is limitless almost. Create any animation, any template, graphical template that you want, and use that directly into the CG+, which still remains a very, very simple product to go on there.
Thank you, Marco. I believe that this feature really clarifies our philosophy in giving to the customers high-level products, but keeping them very simple and very easy to use.
Yes.
So another nice feature in order to keep the product easy to use is the integration with the Stream Deck products.
Oh,
Can
yes.
you please tell us something about this?
Yes. Well, usually graphic products can connect to external push button machines. In the past, we integrated with some MIDI products. We have GPIs in there. There's a lot of way to let's say, control the application. But the Elgato Stream Deck has become very, very popular in the market. Why? Well, first of all, you can have various models with more or less buttons, and it's responsive, so you have small screens on which you can see the status actually of the application. So in this case, I'm using an application which is a free application. It's called Companion from BeatFocus, and it integrates with the Elgato. And in the database of the thousands of products that you find there, you will also find the Axel CG+. So if you just download it, you configure your CG+, and what does it give you? It gives you the possibility to control your CG. For example, I want to put on air my crawl, my logos, and my live, and that's where you have it directly on air. And maybe I have a headline to put on air, and you just click on the button. And also the status of what you have on air is nice and clear directly on the Elgato Stream Deck. So it's a nice integration, it's a nice accessory to the CG+ software.
Yeah, I agree. It's a very nice tool to have. So again, another word of integrations.
Yes.
This time it's a wider word, let's say. So how are we compatible with the MOS protocol?
MOS protocol is a protocol which is used in newsroom environments. We have just added, we had the MOS in our other product, Uplay, since many years now. So people have enjoyed the integration between the Uplay to put on here their stories during the news, integrated with the newsroom facility. The MOS protocol allows the head editor to actually change the rundown in real time and move the stories that he wants up and down, and the communication automatically updates the playlist and the rundowns in your master control room, so the technician actually only uses the play button. The same has been done for the CG. So essentially in the setup we have the MOS protocol, which is very easy to use. We don't use any MOS gateway usually. There's another PC or servers on the network which translates the commands between the application and the newsroom system. The MOS gateway is built into the CG Plus. So that's kind of nice. You just insert your IP address of the newsroom and they start communicating, and as soon as the head editor actually publishes his rundown, you'll have the playlist directly into the GUI of the CG Plus, and the technician just presses the play button to put the graphics on there. I'm sorry.
Sure.
We've tested the system with two of the most popular newsroom systems. One is EMPS by Associated Press, which is an American product. The other is Octopus. But the MOS protocol is a very, let's say, standard protocol. So I imagine that whatever newsroom system that does have MOS protocol built in, it can communicate with our CG Plus adequately.
Okay, of course. And in case of doubts, you can always refer to our sales team. So you can write to us, and then we will check with Marco just in order to give you the most precise answer we can. So Marco, another very nice integration we already had this with the other products. We also have this, and it's very important to recall to the US public that we already have it with our XTV automation. We are fully integrated with the EAS emergency system management. Can you clarify how it works?
Well, as said, CG Plus can be used in two environments. One is the live production, and the other is channel branding. Usually, the EAS obliges the TV stations not only to send the audio messages on the audio track, but also to put a visual alarm or notification directly on the video. So of course, we use our CG engine to do this. So in case of the channel branding, the CG Plus just simply is the channel branding machine. It's at the end of the chain, and we have a special setting for the EAS. We connect to an EAS receiver, which is usually through a serial cable. So when the emergency alert comes in, the serial cable gets the message to the CG Plus. You can actually customize some templates. We have a template for the not severe, the less severe, and the most severe, which are the three types of messages which can come in. So the TV station can customize directly the graphics how he wants it. So, for example, the system can put on there directly the EAS message. It will be on a priority layer on top of the rest. And when the message is finished, the message will go away. So, EAS integration is already built in directly into the CG Plus application.
Okay, that's great. And Marco, going back to the very first point, so the easiness of use, and the tools that we provide in order for our products to be very, very easy and effective. How can you show how the integration with the Excel files is supposed to be working with CG Plus?
Let's say that CG Plus has a MOS protocol. We've talked about that. That's for newsroom and environments. But it has other protocols which can control the application. One is a TCP/IP protocol, which is usually used by automations, for example. And then there's another protocol which is called REST API. The REST API is becoming very, very popular because they're easy to use. If I go in the help page for the CG Plus REST APIs, there's a lot of commands, and sending these commands will allow you to control the CG application. Usually a developer will use this. So a developer may develop a specific product to manage a type of show, which can be a sports or other things, and he will use these commands to control and send the graphics directly on air from his own application.
Okay.
There's another solution, which was the one to answer your question, which is to use an Excel file. And so in this case, I'm using LibreOffice, which is the free version of the Excel. And the interesting thing is I can use Excel to actually put some graphics on there. So for example, on page 7, I have an object which the name is text1. So if I put your name here, and then I have a shortcut to send the command, which is Control-3, actually I'll get my lower third directly on air. This is just a small example. There are two specific applications in which I know a lot of people are getting an advantage out of this. Well, first of all, Excel, everybody knows Excel.
Yes.
And the other thing is, if you don't know Excel, you go on the internet and you look for a tutorial or something like that. So, and in Excel, you can actually build applications, okay? Put your buttons where you want them, your data, your formulas, correct. And for example, we have some customers, a lot of them actually, which are parliaments around the world. Usually there's a lot of people in the parliament, hundreds of people, and the GUI of CG Plus is not that handy to manage all these long lists.
Of course.
So what they do is they simply put the information with the people name and the political party or the logo of the political party, and they put all this information directly in Excel. They use the search function in the Excel and the shortcut, and what they are doing actually is they're using Excel to actually manage all their graphics. So this is one nice example. And another one is for quiz shows, like game shows. So usually in a game show, you have some graphics which is popping up and down, maybe some points where you have to do some calculation of some sort of thing, or some random numbers, etc. Usually it has you can do it in CG Plus, but you will also have to manage all the data and all the information by hand manually. While if you kind of build the intelligence of the game show, how it's built, directly into your Excel, you can use the Excel interface to actually manage the game show. And I have a lot of customers that are doing this for their game show, and it's particularly easy, let's say, in this case, to build your own application.
Cool. Very, very interesting. So let's say in the field of how CG Plus works, and so in which area it can be used, with which integrations it can be used, but mostly at a level of, let's say, how it is compatible with the different kind of transmissions. So, for example, with the IP world, NDI, streaming, how it is compatible with it.
Well, let's say that CG Plus is a real CG application. I usually call it a key application. Why? In the CG world, in the video world, you usually have two signals, SDI signals that go to the video mixer, which are called key and field. The key is actually what allows the graphics to be superimposed onto the cameras or the background image. So of course it's focused to use key and field hardware. What do I mean? Well, you usually use a hardware card, a broadcast card. I like Blackmagic Decklink cards very much. There are a lot of models, but we also are compatible with Asia, Bluefish, Deltacast, and more. let's say that you also Blackmagic makes a card and Delta Custom make a card for the IP market, which are a high-end IP format which is called ST2110, and we are compatible with that. NDI has built-in. NDI is a type of video over IP based on NewTek technology. We've always been compatible with NDI, so you can actually send your graphics to a TriCaster or a vMix, and the NDI signal will always include that key, the alpha channel, the transparency information to overlay the graphics on top. And of course, we have an IP a little bit everywhere. There's also an IP encoder built inside, can transmit in a lot of formats like RTMP, SRT, UDP. Usually this does not contain the alpha information just because these type of protocol do not support it. And they can be used for previewing, let's say, your CG Plus remotely or on other workstations.
Okay, and talking about technology compatibilities, we are, of course, CG Plus is of course compatible with 4K. Can you just explain our philosophy in that area too?
Well, let's say that we have never differentiated versions of the software according to the format or to the resolution. So in the old days it was SD, then we passed to HD, and then we go to 2K, 4K. Yes, of course, it's possible. For us, it's just more pixels to manage. The issue is your system, your computer requirements are higher for 4K. They have to be a good computer. In this case, I have a 12th generation i7, which is good to manage one channel in 4K. Why do I say one channel? Because remember that actually CG Plus has a program output, which is my one channel to go to my video mixer, but also has a preview output. And the preview can not only be on the computer screen, but it can actually be a physical SDI or, let's say, video output that goes also to the video mixer. So those are two channels. But actually, you can configure the system for multi-channel purposes. And so let's see the two cases. For channel branding, I can have 2, 3, 4 channels, multi-channel, and of course, it's just to create, for example, the station logo for different TV stations. It's just to combine, let's say, the feature in a single machine. While for live production, a dual channel system is interesting. Why? Because sometimes you send some graphics like lower thirds to the video mixer, and you set up the video mixer maybe to capture and record that talk show or the live show. And then you use another channel to add other CG information, like maybe the news or some pop-ups, which you don't want to record. So the video mixer allows you clean feed options, that's what it's called, in order for you to select if you want to record without graphics, just with one channel or two channels. So the two channel in a live production will allow you to separate what you want to capture and record and what you want to keep out of the recording. So that's kind of interesting. And to add it up, we're not only compatible with 2K, 4K, but we also go up to 8K. Why? Well, simply because there is a Blackmagic card which has a 8K output. Of course, it's something, let's say, ahead of its time. But eventually, if the power of the computer will be enough, and if the Blackmagic video card will function correctly, you will be able to do 8K CG graphics, okay? So just in the philosophy to never limit the possibilities at all.
So the software is ready to go anywhere. It's just a matter, mostly it's just a matter of hardware. So just check with your salesperson or AxelTech representative all over the world, and just adjusting the hardware we can get almost anywhere, I would say. So another important subject, we mentioned earlier the old products. So there are many users, of course, all over the world, which are currently still using our DLG Plus and CG Live. These products are not end of life yet, but of course they will be because we have a new software. In case you want to try CG Plus, you just have to again contact our sales team directly or our distributors and resellers all over the world. They will provide you all the commercial and technical informations. But Marco, we did something already in order to help our DLG Plus and CG Live users. So can you please clarify how we are helping them in the transition?
Well, we know that change is always a little difficult, and maybe old users will not be comfortable with a new GUI. We encourage to upgrade to the CG Live, CG Plus product. So what we did is we actually made a fully customizable GUI. This means that the user can actually move panels and buttons and windows around and create his own, let's say, style of the layout of the GUI. This is also because many users have a small screen, a lot of users have a big screen, so of course the GUI has to change according to your system. But mostly we did it because we inserted a couple of layouts predefined inside. One layout is called the classic layout, and actually it resembles a lot the same GUI of the DLG product. And we made another one, which is the traditional layout, which is this one over here, which resembles a lot the GUI of the CG Live. So a new user, or an old user, when he installs the new product, he will find himself very, very comfortable. And of course, he can play around and maybe pass to the new layouts, which are, for example, the Trio, which is has a combination of the two, which I like very much, or create his own layout and his own GUI according to his needs.
Very nice. So don't be afraid to switch to the new CG Plus, because it is going to be very easy even if you were using some other product, both AxleTech or not, honestly, because as you see, the GUI is very, very easy and very intuitive, I would say, to start using. So thank you, Marco, for your time today. It was a very nice introduction to the CG Plus world. And then, of course, if you have any further question, you can always refer to our sales team. So you can write to sales@axletech.com. You can connect with us through every social media, and of course you can rely on our brilliant network of resellers all over the world. So thank you again for following this program today. Thank you, Marco.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
And see you soon. Bye.
Bye-bye.